Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Doug, the retirement guy, and today we're diving into a hot topic. Which Robinhood ETF is better play, HOOW or HOOY? That's the Roundhill Hood Weekly Pay ETF, HOOW, versus the YieldMax Hood Option Income Strategy, HOOY. They're both based on the Robinhood stock, but they take a very different path to get there. So before we jump in, I got to do a quick shout out to all of our Patreon supporters and YouTube subscribers. You guys keep this channel going. If you're not a subscriber, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification, and join the community. And even join Patreon. It's free with extra charts and breakdowns. All right, let's get into it. Notice to all viewers, this past performance does not guarantee future results. This information is for educational and entertainment purposes only. This is not intended to be financial information. If you need financial information, always contact a financial advisor. Let's do a fun overview. We're comparing two ETFs that both focus on that Robinhood exposure. HOOW by Roundhill uses a 1.2 times leverage exposure to the Robinhood stock. It's designed for growth, but with a higher volatility. While HOOY by YieldMax uses a synthetic covered call strategy designed for income generation with limited upside potential. So you can see already that these two are built on a different investment goals. One is growth seekers and one is income seekers. So we do a little bit of research behind it, and you'll find out HOOW from Roundhill launched in June 18th of 2025. HOOY from YieldMax launched on May 7th of 2025. They both carry the same expense ratios of 0.99%, and both now pay weekly dividends. HOOY recently switched from monthly over to weekly, which is why I wanted to do this comparison. So we take a look at the performance comparison. And this is year to date of 2025. And you will see HOOW has a 50.02 year to date growth, while HOOY has a 33.14% year to date growth. So HOOW clearly leads in the total growth thanks to that 1.2 times leverage. But remember, leverage works both ways. It amplifies gains and amplifies losses. So if the Robinhood stock pulls back, you're going to see some bigger reductions. Now, HOOY returns are more moderate because of the covered call cap, but the compensation of investors through the higher income. So when we take a look at their strategies, we just pretty much explained the strategies of 1.2 leverage. You saw that in the form versus the covered calls. When we take a look at the actual hardcore numbers, let's talk the income side of it. The reason many investors buy these ETFs in the first place is for the income. HOOW's dividend yield is 32.36% year to date. That's total dividends paid of $24.21 so far. Weekly payouts are uneven, roughly anywhere between $1 to $2 per week, with the most recent one hitting about 85 cents. Now, HOOY, the dividend, is up 45.24%. Total dividends paid out are $31.10 so far. So they've transitioned from the large monthly payouts, which were ranging between $4 and $6, to weekly, now averaging about 73 cents. So HOOY delivers a higher yield, but that income can fluctuate as the fund adjusts to its new weekly schedule. So when we take a look at the risk analysis and the strategy breakdown, you're going to see in strategy that 1.2 leverage equity versus that synthetic covered call from HOOY, you can see basically the volatility is going to be higher. The upside potential on HOOW is going to be higher. And it correlates right with Robinhood for definitely higher. When we look at HOOY, that synthetic covered call, you're going to see a higher income with a limited upside, a moderate in volatility, but an upside potential capped. Both are tightly tied to the Robinhood stock. So if Robinhood falls, both funds are going to take a hit. But the difference lies in how they manage the exposure. HOOW amplifies the price movements. HOOY smooths out the returns with the optional income. Now the key takeaways: leverage versus option. HOW seeks the growth using leverage. HOOY seeks income. Yield versus growth trade-off. HOOY offers a higher yield, but its capped side but the upside is capped. HOOW offers more growth potential, but has more volatility. So both carry some higher risk. Leverage and options both introduce complexity. These are not your low risk. These are not set it, forget it ETFs. They are typically tools for specific goals. So investment suitability, this is for educational only. If you're focused on growth with some income, HOOW may fit that mindset. If your goal is maximum income, even if it means limited upside, HOOY may align better. Think of it like a teeter-totter. Growth side, HOOW. Income side, HOOY. Which side you prefer depends totally on your risk tolerance and income needs. So for me personally, I lean towards HOOW. I prefer the growth with income rather than income without growth potential. But that's my perspective. That's what I go for. Which one do you like better? The high yield HOOY or the high growth of HOOW? Drop your vote in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you.